The 2017 Mercedes-Benz B-Class Electric Drive. That's right, Mercedes-Benz actually does offer a pure EV to compete directly against the BMW i3, the Chevrolet Bolt, and just about any other automaker that's coming out with an all-electric car. I'm Jay, and welcome to this latest episode of Car Buzz Unboxing Reviews. And yeah, I'm excited to show you this car today because not everybody knows Mercedes-Benz has an electric vehicle. I also want to thank Mercedes-Benz of Walnut Creek for letting us come on down and film this today. So, the Mercedes-Benz B-Class. Well, I'm sure not everyone has actually heard of it, but if you live in Europe, you probably see these things everywhere. That's because the B-Class, this generation was launched in 2012, and in Europe, it can be powered by either gasoline or diesel engines, as well as the electric drive unit that you see here. But in the US, you can only get it as a pure electric model. And the reason being as well, Mercedes-Benz knows that American buyers just aren't all that interested in what's essentially a hatchback. Kind of raised ride height a little bit, but nothing more. And this is the only way Mercedes-Benz realized, well, if we want Americans to buy the B-Class, at least let's put an electric drive unit in it. And Mercedes-Benz, at the time, it didn't have a full-on electric vehicle that was designed from the get-go to be an electric vehicle. So they had to do something until they did that eventual electric vehicle. And think of the B-Class as sort of a stopgap or placeholder measure until that vehicle arrives. Now, looking at it from the outside, yeah, okay, it's not very exciting to look at. Our particular tester here is painted night black. It's got 17-inch wheels, LED daytime running lights. It's just, it's an inoffensive looking car. But when you compare it to, say, the BMW i3, which looks really futuristic looking, whether you, like it or not, but it has something extra. In the B-Class, just looking at it here, it's just kind of plain vanilla. And again, that's because the B-Class wasn't designed from the get-go to be a pure electric as opposed to the BMW i3, which was. But what's good about the B-Class is that it can seat up to 5, 2 up front and 3 in the rear, and everyone is actually very comfortable inside. What I like about the B-Class is that it is, above all, an excellent Mercedes-Benz. It's comfortable inside. The build quality is absolutely fantastic. The technology is equally impressive as well. This is what a Mercedes-Benz should be. Now, the only thing it's missing, like I said, is a fancier exterior design. But even the interior, while it might look a little plain at first, I got to appreciate it because it's just outright functional and easy to figure out. Now, our particular tester here was also equipped with a premium package for an extra $2,690. You get this radar-based energy recuperation system with paddles, auto-dimming rear view and side driver side mirrors, HomeLink garage door opener, Sirius XM radio, bi-xenon headlamps, a Harman Kardon sound system, and multicolor ambient lighting. And we also opted for the multimedia package with the smartphone integration, about for an extra $2,480, and you get the command system with navigation, rear view camera, 8-inch high-resolution touch screen, voice control system, and a DVD player. Alright, now, what's interesting about this engine here, it's 177 horsepower and 251 pound-feet of torque, which is available instantly, by the way. It's paired to a single-speed transmission, sending power to the front wheels. Now, this is a drive system that comes courtesy of, get ready for it, Tesla. It features a lithium-ion battery packed under the floor and a 132 kilowatt electric motor that you see here under the hood. So yes, this B-Class, it essentially has Tesla guts. And that's a cool thing. And the reason being for that is when Tesla was first getting up and running with the Model S, when that first went on sale, it had a partnership going with Daimler-Benz, and there were a number of components in the Model S that came courtesy of Mercedes-Benz. Now, Tesla essentially returned the favor by providing Mercedes-Benz with an electric drive unit for the B-Class. And as I mentioned, this interior, again, this is pretty well equipped. Like I said, the premium package for an extra $2,690, the multimedia package for an extra $2,480. So yeah, just like with any German car, you start adding on the packages and the price goes up ridiculously fast. But what I really do appreciate is that, again, you're getting that Mercedes-Benz quality. They didn't, try to cut short or do any sort of, cost-cutting measures just because this isn't an electric vehicle. They didn't. And the rear seat, again, this is very spacious. 3 adults for a certain amount of time, obviously, could fit back there comfortably. 2 adults would be better, but I didn't really see any problems. And in the front seat backs there, if you notice, there's a couple of little trays in the back of each seat that come out. So if you want to have a little meal while you're going as a backseat passenger, go right ahead. Now, this dashboard here. Now, if you have seen any of the latest Mercedes-Benz models, such as the E300 or the GLC, whatever, this dash design looks dated, and well, that's because it dates back to 2012. But it doesn't mean it's a bad design. It's just older. And yes, it is showing its age. But what I do like about this dash design is that it's very simple. It's straightforward and easy to figure out. And unlike new Mercedes-Benzes, this one does not have that touchpad in the center console over the rotary dial that controls the navigation and infotainment system. Now, if you go back to any of my unboxing reviews, say, again, of the new E300, it has that weird touchpad above the rotary dial, and I don't like it. But because the B-Class is a bit older, it doesn't have that touchpad, which I think that's a positive thing. Yep, there's that rotary dial right there without the touchpad. Works much better, trust me. And you get all of the common luxury features that you should expect in a Mercedes-Benz, dual zone climate control. And you get a lot of metal on the dash too. It's not just like plastic or anything. This is a very well put together vehicle. And of course you have your infotainment and nav system here. This is the command system, again, with navigation. This one has a rear view camera. This is an 8-inch screen, by the way. And what's interesting is that it has Apple CarPlay, but not Android Auto, which, I don't know, that's just a little weird to me. I think it should have at least both standard, but we'll take the Apple CarPlay instead of nothing at all. But what I like about this is that Mercedes-Benz, it's still sticking with the B-Class Electric Drive. It's updating it, and it's adding new bits almost every model year, such as the Apple CarPlay. Now, I don't know how much longer this B-Class Electric Drive is going to be on sale. Mercedes-Benz has made it very clear that it is developing a full lineup of pure electric models. Now, maybe one small complaint I do have about this interior, or at least the dash, is that some of the buttons, at least for the radio, might be a little too small, and the reach from the driver's seat to the dash might be a little long for some, but I'm just getting a little nitpicky here on a car that I really liked, and surprisingly so. I didn't go in with very high expectations of the B-Class Electric Drive. Just, well, look at it from the outside. It's not a looker. So how does it drive? Well, it's actually a very nice ride, and it's quiet inside, and the steering is quite, surprisingly well tuned. What I also like is that you can use the steering wheel paddles to control the brake regeneration, or you can just let the radar-based system do it for you automatically. So let's talk performance here. Now, on a full charge, you're going to go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 6.8 seconds. That's actually pretty fast, considering this car weighs nearly 4,000 pounds. How does it go from 0 to 60 in only 6.8 seconds? That's because of that 251 pound-feet of instant torque. Top speed, 93 miles per hour, but again, it's an electric vehicle. This is not about trying to go fast. It's about driving range. And speaking of which, let's talk about that. Now, Mercedes claims the B-Class Electric Drive has an 87 miles of all-electric driving range. Now, that's actually pretty good, and it has a charging time to get to the full charge of just over 3 hours. Now, you can get up to 60 miles of range in 2 hours at a common public charging station, that's pretty cool. But just compared to the BMW i3, now that has 80 to 114 miles of range. Now, that was just updated for 2017, and if you get the i3, which I did an unboxing review of recently as well, if you get that with the optional range extender, which is a little gasoline engine that serves as a generator, you can get 150 mile range with that thing. Now, the Tesla Model S, now that has an 85 kilowatt battery pack, and that has, get this, 265 miles of range. But then again, all those Tesla Model S's are really, really expensive. And then there's also the brand new Chevrolet Bolt. Now, that's just arriving in dealerships as we speak right now, and that has 75 miles of highway range up to 190 miles. So I'm sorry, 75 miles per hour of highway range up to 190 miles. So yeah, 190 miles in a Chevrolet Bolt all electric. That is impressive, and it costs an awful lot less than a Mercedes-Benz. So yeah, you are paying a premium for the Mercedes-Benz name here, but that's expected. So what do I like about this? Well, look, this is a very nice Mercedes-Benz. Build quality is fantastic, and it's comfortable to ride in. Interior space is very good. Comfortable front seats, comfortable rear seats, and outstanding build quality. It's just very easy to live with. What don't I like? Well, inside and out, it's just not as exciting or interesting to look at or talk about even as like a BMW i3 or even the new Chevrolet Bolt. In fact, people don't even notice this when it's being driven around town. They don't even know that it has Tesla guts inside of it, which is kind of a shame because I do think this car is, kind of underrated. Oh yeah, there's that little tray there. Nice little nifty, but not entirely necessary feature. So let's talk about some of the other competition. Well, it's pretty much only 2, maybe 3 models. The BMW i3 and Chevrolet Bolt, and eventually the Tesla Model 3. Now, the BMW i3 starts at around $44,000 and goes up to $47,000, give or take. The Chevrolet Bolt, $37,000 to around $42,000. And what you're looking at right there, that is the portable charging pack. Which, again, it allows you to have some flexibility when you're driving this thing. And we're starting to see more and more charging stations throughout the United States, especially in California. So let's talk about pricing for this car, the B-Class Electric Drive. Now, it has a base price of $41,450, but we got, again, well over $5,000 worth of options in this tester here. And combined with a $925 destination price, you're looking at a grand total of $48,675. Yeah, that's about $50,000 for this thing. But you got to remember, there are various U.S. government and state tax credits that will knock the price down. I mean, you can get it for probably, in some states, more than $10,000 in tax credits off that $48,000. So that's something. But then again, I'm just comparing it here to the new Chevrolet Bolt. It costs quite a bit less. Again, starting at $37,000, and you get those same tax credits plus greater driving range. I don't know. Maybe the Chevrolet Bolt could be the better buy. But then again, it's still kind of unproven, the Bolt. I mean, the B-Class Electric Drive here has proven itself to be a very reliable and excellent EV. But perhaps I think it might be best to think of the B-Class Electric Drive as, well, it's sort of like a VW Golf, but for those who want a Mercedes. Again, it's sort of like a raised hatchback, but it's got a Tesla Electric Drive powertrain, which, yeah, I think that's cool. But yeah, looking at it from the outside here, except for, those 17-inch wheels that, they look kind of futuristic, The car itself it's just not a standout, and I think that's a real shame. Because the technology in this is impressive. But I'm really excited to see what Mercedes-Benz is going to be doing in the next few years as the eventual successor to this B-Class is set to arrive, and it really can't come soon enough. The Bolt is outperforming this. The new i3 just received some updates, and then the Model 3 is going to be out very soon as well. But I'm out of time for today. Thanks everyone for watching. If you have any more questions for me about the B-Class, just leave them in the comment section below, as well as any suggestions for future unboxing reviews. And be sure to check out the full review of the 2017 Mercedes-Benz B-Class Electric Drive on carbuzz.com. Be sure to subscribe to our unboxing YouTube channel.